it provides a very good future potential for other growth avenues. For example, we can start distributing our meals to specialty stores such as Whole Foods and Russo's. We can also look at catering, corporate and private catering, which is actually a very good business. And depending on the industry landscape, like economic trends, we can consider the option of expanding all over US and thus create national brand. Since every business has some risk associated with it, we have evaluated the risk associated with Porcini's Pantry. The first is about finding ideal locations. Since we are looking to open Porcini's Pantry close to existing Porcini's restaurants, we identify that that is a potential risk for us. Second is low sales of high margin products such as wine and olive oil, which will be giving high margins for Porcini's Pantries. If we have low sales in these products, we believe that will drive down our profit margins. Lastly, securing and maintaining a steady traffic, that is a regular customer base which is independent of Porcini's existing customer base. That is another potential risk we have identified.
Despite these risks, we really think that we've come up with a growth strategy that's both manageable in the short term, that fits a lot of the market and industry trends right now, and that allows you to leverage what you do so well, which is to provide high quality food that's given through well-trained and very competent staff in a great ambiance, and we hope you'll agree. We're open to your questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was a great presentation. Can you go to page 8, please? Yeah. Okay, so this, I'm assuming a lot of the analysis was based on this, in terms of the market size and all that.
It certainly drove a lot of our choices in terms of targeting this market, which isn't an in-house restaurant market.
Okay. So my first question, so I mean, look at the first thing I see when I look at this. 1989 to 2009, disposable income has gone up by 250%, right? Unbelievable, I think. What do you think when you projected this, did you project it to either level off or start declining? I mean, did you take a look at what's been happening?
Because the 99% would be very upset with this chart.
This is actually market research. Oh, sure, sorry. So we did find this through Standard & Poor's, and I mean, we do think that, no, I know. I think that disposable income, I mean, to grow that much is significant. I mean, it will depend on the U.S. economy. I mean, unfortunately, we don't really know what's happening right there. They could be dipping into a second recession, and I think what we were really focusing on is the fact that it has dropped. While it might be rising a little bit in 2010, we don't believe that it's going to go back up as high as it was in the past. So restaurant spending's really, it's shrinking, whereas people are starting to cook more at home.
Yeah, and I think I more than anyone, I appreciate tricks with slides. But if I look at the axis on the right, doesn't that imply that the overall absolute spend is going up dramatically? Because we're only dropping from 4.3 to 3.95. It's kind of regression to the mean, almost an error. But as we said, the market's grown by 2.5 times.
Absolutely. I mean, interest and people going to restaurants has certainly grown quite a bit. What we found, one really interesting stat that I think complements this well, is that despite the fact that people are spending more in restaurants than they used to, and that has been coupled by increasing incomes, 82% of people say that though they enjoy eating out in restaurants, they don't do it as often as they would like, and they're more reluctant to take shares of their income and put them into restaurants right now.
In addition, 91% of individuals cook at home, say they cook at home 5 days a week. So they do really enjoy going to restaurants and do spend more money, but 5 days of those weeks, 91% of the people do cook at home, and 39% of those people actually use some sort of pre-packaged food in their meal preparation. So that's a great market to tap into.
Maybe just one more question from the judges, please.
All right, I'll keep it quick. So this is all great. You guys don't operate in the retail food sales sector right now. It's a different set of skills. You're going to have product going bad. You're going to have all sorts of new issues. how are you going to make sure you're successful?
Right. First of all, the supply chain in terms of getting a lot of those products, we already have really good connections with the food supply chain. Secondly, we are actually going to leverage off of our restaurant to produce these items, so we can use material back and forth depending on spoilage rates and stuff, as well as this grocer is not providing any perishable items, so we're not going into that segment.
No perishable items?
Just to add on to that, we're really focusing on the olive oils, the tomato sauces, the complements to the main meal. The main meal itself would be produced that day through the restaurant and sold that day.
So the ready-to-cook meals would be all?
That's right. It's all fresh pasta and prepared either that day or recently and looking to be sold.
And those are not perishable?
Sorry, those are perishable, but we wouldn't be looking to maintain a large inventory for a long period of time. We'd be looking for smaller inventory that gets turned over more frequently. And anything not used can be used again in the restaurant itself.